Hi, it's Charlie Bengel. Welcome to another edition of Meet a Top Producer. My special guest today is Rob Bergman from our Capitol Hill office. Rob, it's great to see you.
Hey, thank you for having me.
So you've been in real estate 30 years. Happy anniversary.
Thank you very much.
Got your GRI designation, Hall of Fame, Lifetime Achievement Awards from Remax. Take me back 30 years. Why did you get into real estate?
Well, it was a long road. I completed my tour in the Marine Corps.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Yes.
And my pleasure. And it was a place in my life where my girlfriend was from DC.
Okay.
So I decided I was gonna develop my life here.
Okay. Yeah.
I started out in a bar environment.
Okay.
I worked at a local bar on Capitol Hill that was very well known.
Okay. As a bartender.
As a bartender.
So you've got the gift of gab, which helps in real estate.
Got the gift
Yes.
of gab.
Yes.
And I met many contractors through there.
Mhm.
I mean, we had people from senators and congressmen to carpenters and
Okay.
all kinds.
All walks of life.
Yeah, met them all.
That's Capitol Hill, right?
And they all used to live
Yeah.
on the hill,
Yeah.
you know, so it was a very close neighborhood.
Mhm.
So after a while of working with guys, working full time and taking some classes,
Okay.
some architectural classes,
Okay.
I decided that it was time for a change,
Mhm.
something more consistent. So
Okay.
I joined
Or so you thought.
the real estate business in '93,
Yeah.
which was probably one of the worst times in the city.
Yeah, right.
But it was a great time to learn. So
Mhm.
I took my GRI while I was warming up.
Okay.
And,
Smart.
I was lucky enough to get into some excellent companies on
Okay.
the hill.
Good.
I did move around a bit.
Mm-hmm.
I think 3 times before I partnered up with a guy for about 6 years.
Okay.
And then found Remax,
Mhm.
and then that's
Here we are.
the end of the story.
Right.
Couldn't find anything
Yeah,
better.
boy, you've seen some changes in the city over 30 years.
It really has
Yeah.
changed.
Remarkable.
It's amazing. Even in like '05,
Mhm.
you know, I thought, oh my gosh, how can they build any more space?
Mm-hmm.
And they've just found it.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely remarkable. It's been interesting to watch the city over the years. What do you enjoy most about real estate 30 years later?
I enjoy meeting people
Mhm.
from all different walks
Mhm.
of life. You know, I learn from all my clients.
Mhm.
It's one of the things I tell them straight
Mhm.
away. It's like, you know, I don't know everything.
Yeah.
And people that do different types
Mhm.
of businesses, you learn a lot from
Sure.
them. And so that's one thing I enjoy.
Mhm.
It's really just getting to know people. And in Capitol Hill, it's pretty insidious.
Right. Right. Agreed. Yeah.
So easy to meet people.
Mm-hmm. All right. So what's your big why or motivation all these years later? Why do you still get out of bed and sell real estate?
I think the most satisfying part of
Mhm.
it is to be a part of someone's life where they're making a big life change.
Sure. Right.
And being able to listen to what they're
Mhm.
looking for, because sometimes buyers aren't exactly sure what they
Right. Right.
are talking about. So it helps to listen
Mm-hmm.
and know the local market. In the beginning, it was very difficult to bring anybody to Capitol Hill because of the stigma
Right.
to it,
Right.
you know. And once I got them down there, I
Mhm.
could really introduce them to the neighborhood, and it made my job easy.
That's great. So helping people achieve their goals 30 years later is still driving you.
Still driving me. And, you know, I've had clients that I met as a second lieutenant in the Air
Mhm.
Force and celebrated his promotion to 1-star general at the Pentagon with him.
That is really
And
cool.
in the meantime, I sold him 4
Right.
houses.
Right. Yes. Yes.
And so, yeah, it was great.
Yeah. That's very gratifying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very good. So switching gears for a bit, talk to me about your best lead source and why is it your best lead source?
Well, being in business for quite some
Mm-hmm.
time, one of my best lead sources, obviously, is repeat referral
Sure.
business. And, you know, I relied on that and lived on it for quite some
Mhm.
time. People I became a listing agent more so than
Right. Yeah. Tends to happen over time. Yes. Yes.
And I realized that all my clients were moving away.
Mhm. Right.
So getting referrals
Mhm.
was still something that I tried to farm, but now it's really changed.
Okay.
So I do Google advertisements.
Okay.
My son's also a licensed realtor. That's not practicing right now, but he's very tax savvy. So
Good.
he has been doing a lot of the internet advertising for me. And I've kind of moved away from the paper print advertising. For one, it's very expensive. And by the time, you get to the through the hill rag, you've introduced yourself to about 30 other agents.
Sure.
It's not like the old days where I'd buy the back page and be the guy.
Right. So more digital advertising these days.
More digital, and postcards are still a big thing for me. I've had clients whip those things out 2 years after I'm...
Right. It's amazing what people say, isn't it?
They say, oh, I saved this.
I know.
And it's like...
Yeah, it happens all the time though, doesn't it? It's too funny. So take me back 30 years. What would you do differently if you could redo that first year?
I was very lucky to have
You had people helping you.
Well, that I had people helping me, but that I knew so many people on Capitol Hill.
Right.
My
From
wife,
the bar.
From the bar.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a real neighborhood spot.
Sure.
My wife grew up on Capitol Hill.
Andy.
So I had this lead. In the 90s, the only people smart enough to buy a house on the hill at the time were women. And they were single women buying houses on the hill. Really was a statement saying, we feel comfortable. Right. This perception that the media has developed really isn't.
They've done quite well if they've held onto their houses, haven't they?
They have.
Remarkably well.
Yes.
All right. So for rookies, it's network and have good mentors. Would you agree?
Networking, definitely reaching out to people that not only were friends but acquaintances has really been key. And like I said, I got away from all that stuff until recently. And the availability of education with Remax is amazing.
Right.
So anyone that doesn't take advantage of Amy's Mondays or any of this stuff is missing a lot, because even being in the business for 30 years, I'm still learning every day. And again,
yes, I was going to ask you advice for agents today looking to grow their business, whether they're veterans or rookies, and it's never stop learning, it sounds like.
Never stop learning.
Good.
Yeah, I tell you, taking the GRI, I've met a lot of agents over the years. Most of them became pretty involved in the board and that, or started their own brokerage. So, kept in touch with them and never had a bad relationship with an agent. So
that's great.
Yeah. And marketing to agents is also another.
Reputation, boy, and there's nothing like your reputation in a multiple offer situation, is there?
Indeed.
Yeah. Those relationships come in handy. So I appreciate you joining us on another edition of Meet a Top Producer. I'm Charlie Bengel, and this has been Rob Bergman. Rob, it's good to see you.
Thank you.
Thanks.